the Oklahoma City Public Schools Coaches Show, brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods Stores and OKC's CBS Sports Radio 105.3.
Don't be one of them. If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, get protected today. Call 800-312-9970. Coast One Tax Group, protecting your bank, home, and your sleep since 2008. With hundreds of 5-star reviews and an A+ on the Better Business Bureau. Call Coast One Tax Group, 800-312-9970. Stanley from New York owed $93,000. The IRS placed a levy on his bank account. Coast One released the levy and settled with the IRS for $2,000. Mark in Michigan owed $225,000. After Coast One stepped in, Mark walked away paying less than $1,500. Call Coast One now. A 10-minute call can save you up to 93% on your back taxes. Get your fresh start today. That's 800-312-9970.
Oklahoma City Blue basketball is here. KINB 105.3 FM HD1. Kingfisher, Oklahoma City. A Berry Broadcasting Station.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Dick's Sporting Goods Oklahoma City Public Schools Coaches Show. Welcome to another outstanding day at this program today. 6601 Southwest 3rd. That's where you can find us every Monday. It is the Dick's Sporting Goods Coaches Show. I'm your host for tonight, Maurice Prince. I am in for Michael McDaniel, but I am excited to be here tonight. We've got an outstanding show for you this evening. Now, this show features the coaches and also, so importantly, the players that make the Oklahoma City Public Schools athletic program so special and unique. We're going to talk to our first guest here in just a moment, but we're inviting you to come out every Monday. Be a part of this. Be a part of the growth. Come see the athletes. Come support the athletes. Come support the growth of the ACAC, the All-City All-Conference. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to waste no time and get right into what I consider to be an exciting interview to start the show this evening. And joining me at the table right now, I have the head coach of the Douglas Trojans, that is Derek Adams, and of course the player of the week, Mr. RayShawn Jeffery, and the Trojans in the house. It's all right. Derek, congratulations, guys, on the beginning of another season here and an opportunity to build upon this Douglas Trojan program that is historic and is so loved in the city.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we're off to a good start, 1-1. Just coming off the Soul Bowl. The first week we had the Power Bowl, and this week we're heading into the Northwest Classic. We're hoping for some success Friday night.
And by the way, before I know this is called a shameless plug, you can watch the game Northwest Classic in Douglas on the All City Sports page coming up this Friday night. So let's talk about the two games that started off this season, and then I want to talk to RayShawn for just a moment here. You guys opened up what a big-time win over Star Spencer High School in the Power Bowl. Talk to me about that game and how did you get the kids players ready, and what was their attitude about this season coming up?
Well, when I first took the job, we had a slogan, eat, sleep, break the streak. And that was our biggest main goal, was to end the losing and start a new legacy. It's a chance for our Trojans to become Douglas Trojans and take their part in Douglas history. And that's something we've been working on about a year now. And I was very proud of my seniors who've been with me during the pandemic, and they stuck with me through thick and thin. It was great just to see their faces after the victory. And I get to see the fans out in the stands. A very big moment for Douglas.
It certainly was. The excitement was back. The Trojan pride was definitely on display that night, and a game where you guys came out the gate swinging. Was that in the original game plan, Coach?
Yes, it was. We wanted to start fast, and we wanted to attack them at all means. Every facet of the football, we wanted to attack them.
RayShawn, if I can get you real quick here on this question. What has been the locker room been like, this guy coming into this? It's been some tough times for you guys, but you guys came in refreshed with a new attitude. What sparked that, and where did that begin?
Well, there's nothing but focus when we hit the locker room. We need to listen what coach says and what we need to do and what we need to tweak on the field. And that's it, and we get back out there.
You guys are coming in with a mentality this year, and you're a part of that, playing the offensive line,
Yes,
defensive
sir.
line, doing that. Where does that motor come from? Because in both games, even the game against Millwood, that D-line and offensive line, the D-line especially, did not stop.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Well, we take pride in all defense and offense. So no matter what side it is, it's pride, no matter what.
And, Coach, when you saw that turn into something on the field, how did that make the rest of the coaches feel? And did you feel that infectious behavior go through rivet through the team?
Well, you got to understand, I'm a line coach. And I've always coached O-line and D-line. I always believe it starts with the linemen up front. You get the big boys going, it's infectious. It goes to the whole team and through the whole building. So the trenches are very big for us here.
And to see the fruits of that displayed in that first game against Star Spencer, one of the things I have to mention is there's three phases to the game, of course. There's offense, defense, and special teams. And, boy, in game number one was special teams special.
Yes, it was. I mean, weekly we prepare. We give at least about 90 minutes a week to special teams. We're very serious about it. Our goal is always trying to get the hidden yards in the special teams game. In week one, we went out there, we got the fake punt, we got the sky ball, we got the onside, and last week we fell a little short of it, but today we're back at it again, going after special teams.
Now, in that first game, I have to ask you, and I'm going to talk some more to RayShawn in just a minute, but I have to give some love to your sophomore quarterback, Mr. Caleb Moore. He's come to the game showing a lot of poise. He's showing some leadership, and boy, does he have some arm strength.
Yeah, the kid has a cannon. You know, I've been coaching 15 years. He has a very lively arm, and he's just 15 years old. And my goodness, I like to see him when he's a senior. That's
yeah,
gonna be fun to see.
to watch the growth and watch the building from that is going to be outstanding. And you were talking about some of the RayShawn, you were talking about your other players, because the big guys up front don't always get all the love. Can we talk about some of your teammates who are helping you get the job done so far this season?
Well, let's see.
Don't miss out now. They got this on tape.
Just make sure I got everybody.
Hey, take your time.
Like
Take your time.
Our QB, wonderful sophomore. He's doing everything he can, especially when he's going against bigger other seniors rushing at him. We do nothing but help him. Our defense, I just can't even talk about that.
Well,
that's just so.
Talk about the teammates on the line. Give me the guys on the line. The guys working with you.
We got USON Speed.
Okay, yeah.
We call ourselves the Big Nasties.
Okay,
big nasties
so I need all the big nasty
Yes,
love
sir.
right now.
Then we got Mason. Then we got Zanari. Then we got my man D'Angelo Johnson over there. Big dog over there.
Okay.
And we just get it done. We hit the sled almost 90 minutes of practice. Weight room, we take it serious. And that's what we get the job done.
Now, I know you guys were able to win the game against Star Spencer. You fell short against in the Soul Bowl. But one thing I want to point out is that you said you guys are hitting the sled.
Yes, sir.
It showed in the game because you guys were still playing hard regardless of what the score said. Now, was that something collectively you guys on the field? Because the coach can't make the plays for you.
Yes,
you
sir.
guys got to make the
Absolutely.
plays. So was that something that as the seniors you guys got together and started saying, hey, this is what we got to do, this is what we need to do, and you guys just kept going. You guys kept fighting.
Yes, there's no stopping us, especially when we get our momentum up and just having fun. Just playing the game is just having fun.
Now, fun hasn't been there the last few years, so it looks like you guys are taking advantage of every opportunity you're getting.
Yes, sir, we are.
So when that comes into play, how do you guys turn the page? What did the coaches tell you after the game against Millwood to allow you to start focusing on the game coming up against Northwest Classen?
That we can never underestimate no team, no matter what, no matter if we came off a win, no matter how we feel about ourselves, we always have to stay focused and just 110% all the way.
Okay, 110% all the way. Coach, you kind of smiled there when I asked him about that drive in the fourth quarter and that you can't be on the field. You kind of smiled because as a coach, isn't it wonderful to see what your players they're supposed to reflect you. They're supposed to, but to reflect that still fight regardless of the score on the scoreboard.
That's very refreshing. That's something that my team, I will say, even last year, they never quit on me. And I'm very gracious for that. That's every coach's dream, to have your kids in the fourth quarter, no matter what the score, no matter the opponent, they're going to keep fighting.
1-1 on the season. I know you had some long-term goals for this team this year. What are some of the goals that you would like to see this team accomplish?
Well, we believe in going 1-0 every week. That's our goal. You know, we always tell the kids, let's don't look forward to district. Let's look forward to our first opponent, and that's Friday night, Northwest Classen.
So game one of the season, folks.
Pretty
okay,
much.
you see what I'm putting up here, but it's game one because that's the mentality that the coach is focusing on, going 1-0 every week. When you, in the game against Star Spencer, the first game, after ending that streak that you talked about, what was the first thing you told the kids?
I love you. You know, I always tell my kids I love them. That's the number one thing. They know I love them. I'll do anything for them. And sometimes my love is tough, but it's fair. And I was just so happy for them to see that look on their face. And I told them that's what your summer vacation that you gave working out, all the sacrifices was for. And I'm glad to see they got to see the fruits of their labors.
Right, and again, if they go 1-0, they get to see some more fruits of their labor.
That's right.
This is the Coaches Show for those who are listening on CBS Sports Radio. Maurice Prince here, and sitting at the table with me, of course, the ACAC table. We'll just call it here at Dick's. And if you want to come out and see this for yourself, 6601 Southwest 3rd. Come on out and join us. And right now, we got Trojans at the table, and the Trojans are in the house.
Yes, sir.
All right, see, I'm just letting you know. He didn't come here with just one player. You brought the team.
I got some guys over there.
I think it's important for all of them to see this, to be a part of this. One thing I want to talk about real quick is you've got an athletic director and you've got an athletic team that is supporting the kids getting better and showing love. How is that helping you help build this? Because all too often you hear stories that are just simply not true. So when you're talking about building a program and restoring Douglas to what you know it can be, Coach, and only you know that answer, how does it feel to getting the support from the top down to get this?
It's amazing. You know, that's something when I interviewed Mr. Dillbeck has been 100% with me. Everything that he said it was going to happen has happened. Everything I've asked for, he's done above and beyond. So I'm very gracious to be here in Oklahoma City Public Schools. He's made my transition from moving from Texas to Oklahoma that much easier. That's why I bought a home here in Oklahoma City, and I love it here. And I love Douglas.
What I appreciate about the AD is knowing the athletes. And one of the things while we were getting ready for the show, he shook every athlete's hand. And that to me means it's a commitment to building. And what I want to say to everybody is winning is important, but building character and building better athletes and better students begins with leadership. And if you've got support, you can do that.
And that's what I'm saying. Mr. Dillbeck, Ms. George, and everybody in the athletic department, they do an awesome job. They truly care about kids. Sometimes it's not X's and O's. They worry about Jimmy's, Joe's, Sally's, and May's. They want to make sure that every kid has opportunity to enjoy an athletic, being a student athlete. And I see it, and it comes out every day when I go to work.
RayShawn, as you guys are getting ready this week for Northwest Classen, what has been the mentality of the guys in the locker room? Because it's another tough matchup every week, going 1-0. Never underestimate any opponent. What's been the mentality?
Just straight focus on the field. Coach always tells us he's giving us medicine, not candy. Medicine, it tastes nasty, but it works good. Candy's going to kill you. So we always going to take that medicine and get better.
I love that.
Yes,
I love that. Now it's even better when you get the other teammates to buy into that.
Yes, sir.
So in other words, everybody on there is taking medicine,
yes,
right?
Sir.
Okay, all right.
Better.
So if I pull your quarterback, pull some of these other folks over here, they gonna say the same thing?
Oh yes, sir.
Okay, we're gonna find that out.
Yeah.
We're gonna find that out.
Yes, sir.
In terms of developing the team, Coach, in terms of things that you would like to still see this team do better going through the season, what are some of those benchmarks that you're looking forward to doing?
I'm looking for us to play a complete game once again.
So just make it clear, that hasn't happened yet.
No, we've had a great game, but we have not had a complete game where I see everybody firing on all cylinders of football.
Okay.
And that's every coach. There's always something we can get better on. But I know one thing. I have Jalen Alsop. I have Colin Stewart. I've got Logan Holmes. I've got Elijah Jackson. I got Bryce Reyes. I have D'Angelo Johnson. I have some great leaders over there. that are helping the team get to where we get that complete game.
Okay, so getting to the complete game in terms of in terms of how this team has bonded. Do you feel that this team could even get closer than what they are now as opposed to this? Because, again, adversity is still coming. Adversity is coming. Adversity is not just in a loss. It's adversity is in every game that you play. So are you confident in the way the leaders are developing right now that they'll be able to handle that on the field when you can't go out there and tell them? And I know you want to, Coach.
I want to so bad, but I know my captains, we have a leadership council we've been working on all year, and I know they'll get it done.
Talk to me about the forming of this leadership council. Where did that process start?
Well, leadership council is something I've done in previous stops in my coaching career where we have captains, and we take them through a 12-week training. We do it every Monday, 11 o'clock. Just back when we were doing virtual learning in Oklahoma City Public Schools, and basically we're teaching them how to lead. And they have a manual, and they open it up, and we read chapter for chapter, and we talk about certain situations when we put that C on your chest, how some players are not going to like it and how to respond to it, how when you're in the hallway you're held at a different standard.
Right, and I would definitely understand how that's how you build it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, building this program, you took it on when it was a challenge. How much growth have you seen on a scale of 1 to 10? And I know what number you're going to throw out here. I've talked to you before. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much growth have you seen
From these guys?
From the beginning, the day one you walked on to now?
I don't remember. We're at like an 11. I mean, we've had a lot of growth, and my guys, I'm just so happy these guys play for me. I'm glad I can be their head football coach. So, yeah, I say 11. I'm saying that because if you've seen where we were at ground zero to now, this is not the same team I inherited. And I'm so proud of those guys. They put the hard work in.
RayShawn, when we looked at this team, how far do you feel this team can go? How far do you feel?
Oh, we can go all the way. There's no doubt in my mind.
And by saying that right now, it's not about me putting you on the spot because I don't want you to feel that way. What I want you to feel is comfortable to analyze where you feel this team can go. And you're saying that you feel that this team can make a playoff run.
Yes, sir.
Just getting there. And that's fair. That's fair. So that means going 1-0 every week,
yes,
right?
Sir,
okay,
correct.
that's what that would mean, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So when you guys are on the field and in the battle and things aren't going well, how do you guys get yourselves back in line? Someone makes a mistake on the field. There's a penalty called. Someone jumped off sides. There was a legal procedure. Something happened. A call you don't agree with. How do you handle that?
First of all, we make sure that the flag was thrown on doesn't get all hyper and tries to fight. We don't need that, none of that. Well, we always just call the huddle, look at the coach. He tells us next play, and we move on. And that's about it.
That's our deal. Next play.
Next play.
Yeah, you definitely got to have a short memory.
Yeah,
football will take you down.
Yeah, like I tell the kids, there's no DVR in football. We can't rewind back and go back. Let's replay it. No, next play. And I'll tell my coaches when they call them plays, offense, defense, special teams, next play, coach. We'll get back to it. We're going to write it down. Next play, please.
All right. RayShawn, talk to me about the energy you guys got to maintain because when the momentum's going well and you starting to see the opponent, I want to take you guys back to your game against Star Spencer, a very key moment of the game. There was a 4th down play, and you guys should have punted the ball, but instead you guys pulled a play out of, I don't know where, Coach Adams, I'll have to ask him where he found the play from, but what he did was you guys threw the ball and caught Star Spencer sleeping, caught him sleeping. What was the energy like on the sideline when that play happened?
Just enormous. Just everybody was fired, just jumping. Almost ran on the field. Almost forgot what we was playing for a second. Man, I remember when my teammates picked up the other teammate and caught a cramp. They were so happy. Yes, sir. It was just so happy. I love seeing all my teammates smiling, happy, all that.
And that's what this is all about. Now, when you guys did not come out victorious against Millwood, what was your mentality and what did you say to the guys? Because everybody is a little upset.
Yes,
obviously, it's after a game, didn't get the results that you want.
Of course.
How do you guys learn to deal with the situation with expectations now?
Well, we always tell ourselves, look forward. Like you said, there's no DVD in football, even in the
DVR.
game. DVR. Oh, man.
It's all right.
So we always have to worry about the next game. If we won that game, we happy in the moment. We still have 10 more however many games we have on the season.
All right.
That's what we worry about.
And I appreciate that. Now, being Player of the Week, congratulations to
Thank you
for that. And I know it's a team award, and it's good to see everybody being excited about that. How have you been able to handle that? Because now everybody's starting to say, okay, let me check on this RayShawn Jeffery kid. Let me find out what this cat what's going on with him.
He's unsigned.
Yes, sir. I was surprised myself. I'd take everything. I'm so humble. That's all I can say. I'm just humble for everything that comes my way.
Well, it's going to serve you well, and it will also make things better for your team because they have to all understand. And you know, because everybody wants to get in the game. Not everybody can get there. I mean, and you got to keep everybody motivated because you never know when your time may come.
Yes.
So it's a difficult thing. So, Coach, real quick, because if I'd be remiss if I don't ask this question. So, where exactly did that play against Star Spencer, folks, if you didn't see the play, it was one of those plays where they say don't catch the paint dry. Star Spencer was standing still, and it looked like somebody said freeze, and then a play was executed. Talk to me about that a little bit.
Well, I kind of got that from NFL Films, Bill Belichick, and the New England Patriots. They call it hideout. And I've been studying that one since, oh, my goodness, so long. He's ran that play 4 times in the last 15 years, and I always was a fan of it. And I reviewed my film before we played Star, and I remember I was in practice. Everybody was looking at me like I was crazy, and I told them we're going to get him with this play. And then when we got it, all the high fives I got. It was kind of funny. And we threw it to our senior receiver over there, Colin Stewart. He's in the studio here with us right now supporting RayShawn Jeffery. And so I knew we can get that pass off. I knew my sure-handed senior would catch the ball and go to the house with it.
Yeah, Colin Stewart is developing quite into a possession receiver.
Yes, he is.
He said there's not a play that I'm not game for. We saw that automatically.
That's very true.
Let me ask you this as we get ready to take a break here, and I want to appreciate you sitting down and spending some time with me today. You know, when as a coach, there's a look. There is a feeling and a connection you have with your players. When did you, okay? I'm gonna you give an example, then you'll know. When Vince Young won the beat Michigan the year before, Mac Brown came out and said, you know, national title. This is going to be it. That was the moment, and that moment catapulted the University of Texas to a win over USC. When did that moment begin for this team?
Wes Welker, 7-on-7 tournament. We were very nervous. We had young quarterbacks. We had our receivers, and we had hit some adversity in the spring. And we went out there and got our first win, the Wes Welker 7-on-7 tournament. And I knew we had something, and we kept winning. And then we kept winning, and we ended up getting 3rd place in that tournament. And I looked at my team, and I was just to see it in their eyes. I saw the hunger in their eyes, and I saw that hunger in the Star Spencer game. I saw it at the Millwood game, and I saw it about 2 hours ago at practice. And
Okay.
when I saw that, I'm telling you, when we top of the summer we at the Wes Welker competition, we won that first 7-on-7 game, and then I walked to the right, and everybody started following me to the right. I said, oh, here we are. And they all looked at me and said, Coach, we with you. And I said, I'm with you too.
I think I want everybody, as we get ready to wrap up this opening segment of the Coaches Show, is to understand winning is a culture, and it is contagious. Once one player believes, the second player believes, the 3rd and 4th and 5th just seem to come along for the ride. Mm-hmm. A coach can be so much more effective in building character because people are now listening. Beforehand, not everybody bought in at first. It took a little bit of time to get there.
Well, I was new. I was new. I came in, I always tell this story. I got introduced to the job on a Thursday. We went to the quarantine on Friday, and I saw him again 2.5 months later. So it was a tough little situation.
Right.
But in that, we Zoomed, and, we did everything. We followed OSSA rules and everything because we couldn't go out and do anything. But when we got together, I told him, reintroduce myself. I'm Coach Adams. I don't know you, but I already love you.
Sir.
Congratulations on the early season success.
Thank you.
We're going to continue to watch this team throughout the rest of it. And I hope Star Spencer will get over that, Coach, because they're going to remember that play. When we get a chance to talk to the Bobcats, I'm sure we'll get interesting response as they get ready for the Power Bowl for next year. I mean, that's the one thing.
Yeah.
If there's anything, is there anything that you might wanted to touch on that I was not able to ask or I didn't ask you, Coach, before we get ready to get out of here?
I think we're good. I mean, we have something building to the alumni, to the east side. We're building it week by week, brick by brick. We're building the foundation. Last year was a rough one, but like I told my seniors, the class of 2021, I told them, you've given us the greatest gift you can give in Douglas history. You're pouring the foundation for the new future. And if, when there's a tornado or a hurricane, if the building might blow off, but if the foundation is steady, they can build it right back up. And I told them, you guys are cement, and I thank you for it.
Right. Now, for those who are out there before we get out of this streak, I'm going to say this to the Millwood Falcon fans that are listening. Be watching for this team next year and circle it. In the history of the Soul Bowl, no team has won more than 6 in a row. Millwood hit that limit, and so it might be the Douglas Trojan time.
Oh, but it will.
We're going to take an opening timeout, and we'll come back in just a minute. You are listening to the Oklahoma City Public Schools Coaches Show, sponsored by Dick's Sporting Goods. We also want to thank Metro Tech Technology Centers, Tinker Federal Credit Union, the Black Chronicle newspaper, First Security Bank, and, of course, OKC CBS Sports Radio 105.3. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
We come in for, Target makes it easy to leave with more of what we value. Come in for Black-owned coffee, leave with change in your hands. Come in for healthier snacks, leave feeling more fulfilled. Come in for affordable lotion, leave feeling like $1 million. When we bring home more of what really matters, we can find better days within our reach. What we value most shouldn't cost more. Target.
State. Which team will stand victorious? Which band will own the halftime? And get your tickets to 2 concerts: the Midway, the Auto Show, the Food, the halftime battle of the bands, and some of the hardest hitting college football you will ever see. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com. Participating ticket outlets. Sponsored by Dallas Sports Commission, McDonald's, and the U.S. Army.
It's like I blinked, and suddenly all my business shifted to e-commerce.
Now my business hours are whenever my customers need me.
My customers want everything now and faster than ever. It's a whole different world.
Your business is changing. The United States Postal Service is changing with it. We're bringing you fast, reliable shipping nationwide, and we're bringing it right when your customers need it. Let's discover new routes. Visit USPS.com/new routes. The United States Postal Service. Priority, you.
With Early Paycheck, you can get your direct deposit up to 2 days earlier. That's another reason banking with Capital One is the easiest decision ever. Even easier than deciding to open the biggest birthday gift first.
Happy birthday to you.
Which one are you going to open first?
The pony.
Yep, even easier than that. Plus, with no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, is banking with Capital One even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. No fees or minimums on new consumer accounts. Capital One, and a member FDIC.
Warmer colors, cooler temperatures. The season is just getting started. And Lowe's has everything you need to keep the fall gatherings going. Like getting cozy around gas fire pits. Everyday low prices starting at $249. And keeping things tidy with Ego blowers as low as $179. There's still more to fall for at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. While supplies last, selection varies by location. Valid 9/9 through 9/15, U.S. only.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma
City
Public Schools Dick's Sporting Goods Coaches Show. Maurice Prince here live, got some new guests at the table, and I'm inviting you every week to tune in and join us out at Dick's Sporting Goods. Why? We're not just talking football, we're talking basketball, we'll talk softball, cross country, and many other things. So we're inviting you to come out and be a part of this and support the kids. That's what this is really about. The coaches have a love, and they are showing that they are dedicated to their kids that play. I call them their children. That's kind of what they are. But it's an important detail. So joining me now at the table, and I'll get to the head coach because she's the head coach of many things. She's a very talented lady, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But I want to introduce to everyone out there Miss Kim Mitchell. Good afternoon, Coach. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Doing all right. And I also want to introduce at the table as well, Miss Paloma Sanchez. Hi, Paloma.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Again, you can come down here and get some nice running shoes from Dick's while we're here. You see the W on the helmet. When we're talking this time, we're talking middle school sports, just an important block. But I want to point this out. When we start talking about Webster, Webster is a little power factory, folks. A lot of athletes come out of Webster that play many different things, from soccer to football, and they also specialize in what Paloma is a specialist in, and it comes to cross-country running. Paloma, when did the love for running begin?
Well, I started running since 4th grade.
Okay.
So I really liked doing it because it was an exercise that I liked as well. And I just liked the feeling of winning all the time.
Okay. I like to hear that. Now, before we went back on the air, I asked you what was your area of specialty. Now, again, cross country is, of course, long running. So, I mean, it's no secret about that. But you said you like distance running. I mean, so running for long distances, how did you know you were good at that?
Well, I don't know. I just felt like it was fun to do, and it just made me feel healthy inside as well.
All right. Coach Kim Mitchell, of course, you are cross country. You are also basketball. You are so many different things. Yes. A very talented person in your own right, which we'll get to later. But talk to me about what's been growing and building over at the Webster Middle School program right now.
I believe that the whole school has embodied the student athlete as a whole, and we are instilling in those kids pride. First of all, pride and a sense of belonging, along with commitment. Our programs are growing in numbers and successful rates.
When it comes to cross-country running, you have to it's one of those individual competitions that has to be a team concept build. How and what goes into training young bodies and young minds to get ready to endure, because that's what this is really about?
Most of all, it's breaking it down into pieces. You start small. We attended a cross-country meet in the beginning of the year that was a shorter distance to build their confidence.
Confidence, sure.
And then going through and practice and running different speeds in different directions, showing them how much fun and enjoyment it can bring to them.
Absolutely. And I understand you said steps. So can you give me a couple of those steps before Paloma tells me the truth about all the steps that you truly have? Tell me about some of the steps that it takes to get someone to excel in cross country.
Well, first you have to instill in them a joy of running. And I try to do that from the beginning. Of course, there is conditioning involved in that. My philosophy has always been over-prepare within limits.
Right.
So you push the kids further than they think they can go, and then when they succeed at that distance, the excitement and the pride in themselves grows.
Paloma, talk to me about the steps that Coach talked to you about in developing that. That just be nice, because we know she's going to be. She's a wonderfully and sweet person. But talk to me about how she got you to follow those steps and those pieces.
Well, we first, of course, started small, and then she was encouraging us. And if we thought that we couldn't do it, she would tell us that we could, even if we didn't. And that's what made us want to do it, of course, because we first have to like running or doing the thing we want to do if you want to reach our goal.
So in terms of that, how many other things did you have to do? Of course, you have to eat right. You have to do some of those things. So nutrition's a big part of this.
Yes.
So how much time do you guys spend talking about nutrition? Because to be able to run long distances, you've got to have the right things in your body.
Well, every time after practice, me and my teammates, we like get together. We talk about, oh, did you eat breakfast? Did you didn't? You should eat breakfast, and what should be good inside our bodies. And we also drink a lot of water. We try to be together as a team and as a whole as well.
So it's a whole process. In other words, it is a holistic thing. In other words, it's mind, body, and soul.
Yes.
There you go. Aha, I got that one. All right. Coach, when you hear the players start to understand and repeat the information that you try to instill in them, that always has put joy in your heart because you've been coaching a long time. So talk to me about just how that whole thing affects the team and how far it affects young ladies and boys, boys too, in terms of that process, but how it makes changes for them and you see it as they walk down the hallways and things. Can you talk to us about that?
It is a joy to hear Paloma talk about those things and know that there has been an impact made just through cross country this year. Of course, she's a very intelligent young lady.
She's sharp.
Oh, she is.
Thank you.
I have to be on my toes. Some of these the things that the kids are in need of is direction and a sense of learning, of commitment and devotion. I'm excited to be able to provide that for them, not only in their middle school sports, but instill those qualities in them for the rest of their athletic careers and their lives. It brings joy to your heart when you have a former player come back and thank you for what you did for them. That's what keeps me going.
Absolutely. And what I like is it changes them for life, and it's a process. So when we start looking at competing, because it's not always about winning, it's about life skills and being able to do those things. Of course, winning is important. Paloma will tell me that if I ask her. She says she likes to win. But when we start talking about development of people and direction right now, the need is great, especially at a younger age, to be consistent and lay a foundation. Would you agree with that statement?
Very much so, yes.
Now, in terms of the meets, you had several meets at the school already this year. How many have you had, and how many more do you plan to have going into this? But even if I know this is a fall session and there's a spring, so can you break that down for me?
We've been to 4 cross-country meets so far this year. The first one was at Community Christian, and the distance was just 1 mile for both boys and the girls. That was kind of our warm-up. And then since then, we have hosted 2 cross-country meets at Webster Middle School, one for the north side, Oklahoma City Public Schools. We call it the Webster Windmill. And then the following week was for the south side, Oklahoma City Public Schools. So we hosted those at our home site at Webster.
All right.
On those track meets, or cross-country meets, the girls would run 1.5 mile and the boys run 2 miles. So it's progression from that first one up. And then this past weekend, we attended the cross-country meet at, hosted by Oklahoma Baptist University that was held at Gordon Cooper Technology Center. And while I have the mic, I'd like to congratulate Paloma as being part of the second-place cross-country team.
Oh, outstanding. Good job.
Thank you.
We only had 5 runners, so we didn't have any displacement runners, but we did come in second place behind Norman North and ahead of Shawnee.
All right. Congratulations to Webster for accomplishing that. So, Paloma, she said it was a progression. So how have you been able to adapt to the longer distances as it goes? Is it something that, describe to me the challenges in that?
Well, the challenge first that for me was breathing, practicing on my breathing, knowing how to control it, working also with my teammates, not just as individual. And I gotten used to it by practicing at home as well, and knowing my goals as myself as well.
All right. And so far, for the goals that you've set out, how many of those have you accomplished? And first of all, how many have you had for the season? How many goals do you have?
I have had two,
Okay.
beat my time and get a medal, which I really happy did. I'm
All right.
really proud of myself. And I'm really happy and glad that I have beaten those two goals, trying my hardest and my best as well.
Folks, if you're listening again on CBS Sports Radio 105.3, this is the Dick Sporting Good Oklahoma City Public Schools Coaches Show. And sitting at the table right now, of course, I have head coach of many things. Just cross country is just one of the, I'd say, one of the stars in her hat is Kim Mitchell. And the player of the week, of course, for Webster Middle School, Paloma Sanchez. And she is, you said you're an 8th grader, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So we'll get to see you run at the high school level next year. All right, of course. It doesn't stop, folks. She's going to continue to compete. I want you to understand that. So, Coach, let's talk about some of the other things that you're not just cross country. So let's list off the resume of certain things that you have been able to, that you're coaching right now.
Well, this is my first year at Webster Middle School. Happy to be there. I think it's a good fit for both Webster and for myself. I am serving as the site athletic director, boys and girls cross-country coach, and the winter sports I'll be coaching the boys basketball team, and in the spring it'll be boys track.
All right. So a woman of many talents, and when I say that, folks, I really truly mean many talents. For those who are listening and you're watching on the All City Sports YouTube page, Kim Mitchell is also a former quarterback for the Oklahoma City Lightning years ago. And years ago. And I first ran into that story way back in 2003, back in the day a little bit, Coach. So your love for sports has been that way. And at that time, I do believe you were also coaching at Taft at the time, or teaching at Taft.
Teaching, coaching, yes.
Teaching and coaching at Taft. So that journey and the love for athletics has been in your heart for a long time. Yeah. Talk to us a little bit, if you will, about that opportunity, because you played an injured arm, I think, or hand that year, and you continued to play. I think you had 400. I'm trying to remember how many yards passing in a few games that you had. I'm trying to remember now. My mind is a little gone here on this, but I remember you doing that. But you finished the season, but you weren't 100% because you loved what you were doing at that time. Talk to us a little bit about that history, if you would.
Well, I'd be interested to know how many yards that was, because I can't remember either. The love of sports for me began early in life. I grew up in a small town, Earlsboro, Oklahoma. Not much to do but play sports or get in trouble, and I chose the right choice to play sports.
All right.
I had a couple of middle school coaches that kind of took me under their wing and showed me how to shoot a jump shot and provided with me the characteristics that an athlete would need to go forward. And I knew from way back then that my life was going to be taken into the direction of coaching and giving back to kids that I received from them. I've played many, many different things, been excited to play those, gotten many rewards. But the reward I get from seeing a kid be successful and their eyes light up when they finally get something and understand something, that's what I live for.
And I know it is, and you're a very humble person. You always have been. I'm sure Paloma didn't even know you used to play quarterback.
I did, actually.
You did? Okay. Again, Paloma is sharp. I should have assumed that, Paloma. How did you find that out?
Well, I hear when she talks to her students in class or during practice. I sometimes listen to what she's saying, and I found out that way.
Outstanding. You can't hide everything.
You can't.
I know you probably were surprised to hear that brought up today, but it was important because to me, the legacy of caring and building comes through you, and it started when you were pulling both ways at Taft and also competing as an athlete too. I think that clearly comes through, the joy, and you've established where that comes from. So back to the programs at Webster that you are in charge of, site director. what are you most excited to see about the upcoming basketball program that you've got coming up? And what are you excited to see about the spring that's coming up? What's moving you in that direction?
Oh, just I teach PE there at Webster, and the level of talent of the athletes that I already see.
I'm saying, folks, if you did not know, Webster is a little factory of talent. I'm trying to tell you.
They're excited, and they can't hardly wait for practice to begin. For basketball, I went and put up new nets, and they're so excited about that. They're like, "What changed in the gym?" Because the nets were white. So it's just those little things that get those kids excited. I think our program is going to be very successful this year. And once we move to the spring sports, the boys track, we've got speed coming. We've got distance runners also coming from the cross country team, shot and disc, and all those are covered. The intensity level of our kids and the excitement about being involved in sports is amazing, and that's going to be good for our programs, for those kids, and for our school in general.
Paloma, is there any other sport that you have your eye on? Or have you found your pocket or your niche, as you would say?
Well, I'm planning to do track for the spring, and I also been thinking of doing basketball if there's any for the girls, since I really like doing that as well. Okay,
now considering that running up and down the court's not going to be a problem for you, I strongly suggest that you go ahead and get in that, Paloma. You've got the intelligence certainly for that. In track, are you going to do more of the short running? Or are you still going to look at the 4x100, or what are you going to be looking at what for track in the spring?
Well, I want to do long distance because I feel like it gets myself to have more goals so I can reach them. So it's not a trouble for me anymore. So I really looking forward to that.
Talk to me, Paloma, if you will, about when distance running and you have to, of course, share that responsibility. You have teammates. In other words, it's a team competitive event. How do your other teammates, your other ladies, how do you guys come together and, kind of motivate each other to compete at a high level?
Well, since I have friends there as well that do cross country with me, we try to motivate ourselves by doing strategies together, by running together, by practicing together. And we also try to set goals enough to reach each other. We're like, oh, we'll be top 25 or we're top 20, just to, experience the fun in doing any sport.
So you kind of gave an example there. Get to me a little bit more about the strategy. Give me a strategy that worked in one of the races that you guys have already competed. Don't give me anything for the future. Keep that to yourself. I'll let you unveil that in your next win. But can you reflect a little bit about on one of the things that you used earlier, a strategy that you used?
Well, what we did first is we noticed that a lot of people, while starting running, they would run really fast, and we didn't want to waste just our energy on just running a few steps and then getting tired. So we first tried running normal, calm speed, and right just before the finish line, giving it our all.
Okay, so you basically baited the competition to burn all their energy, and then you just came from behind. I see how that works. Okay, remind me not to run to my car in the parking lot. I know what's going to happen in that situation. But how did that strategy work for you in that particular race?
Well, at first I thought maybe I'm going too slow or maybe I'm not going to win. But I try to keep all my negative thoughts behind my head and keep all the positive in front of me so I could have made it to be having a medal.
Okay, and so you were able to achieve that goal.
Yes.
So that was one of the goals.
Yes.
Okay, put a check mark right by that, folks. When we start talking about the spring programs and things going on at Webster, talk to me, Coach, about this parent support that you're getting at Webster. Talk to me a little bit about how that's going.
It's going really well. This past cross-country meet, we were in Shawnee, and I had probably 3 or 4 entire families of our runners there in support for us. They're always asking what they can do to help, providing snacks, anything we need, it's there. That's one of the things that I'm really impressed with at Webster is the parental and family involvement. And I would say, along with the teachers, they're willing to help. If a kid needs a little assistance in coming up with the funds to possibly get their physical, our teachers are there ready to help them get them that.
That's beautiful.
It's really like a community.
And that is what makes Webster so special. I say it's a talent factory, folks, and it is, but what makes it is the community that surrounds the school, which makes it beautiful. I have to ask this question. When it comes to cross country, and both of you can answer it, when it comes to competing, how is it different competing with fans in cross country? Because generally, you run past the fans and they have to either see you at the finish line or, you're circling around and getting back to where they are. But how has that impacted both of you in terms of seeing fans at cross country? You said it had a family, so several families at the meet. So, Paloma, I'll go to you first on that one. How does it feel to have people cheering and being there cheering you on?
Well, it makes me feel very proud, and just seeing them be there for me, I don't want to or like to disappoint them, so I try to give it my all to be able to make them
folks,
proud.
Another thing to note, that if you actually go to the meet, that Paloma sees you there supporting with the blue outfit on, she understands that she's got to give 100%. Coach, same question for you.
The same question. I try to position myself where I can see them at several different times along the route to give them updates on their time.
Now, considering how fast Paloma is, do you have a cart? Does Oklahoma City, do they provide you with a cart to keep up?
No, they don't.
Oh my goodness! I'm going to have to bring the athletic department up about that.
I try to scope out the route so that I can walk this way and get there in time.
Sure.
On the cross-country meets that we do have at Webster, we do have specific routes that come by the fans where the fans are standing, and it's also coach-friendly where you can see most of their running. And as long as I got the mic again, we are hosting the ACAC cross-country meet there at Webster.
Okay, when is that?
That is Saturday, October 2nd.
So write this date down. Saturday, October 2nd, the ACAC is hosting a meet at Webster.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Starts at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, so they can get. Is it tickets only at the door, right?
Tickets at the gate. Yes.
Okay, at the gate. So you come in that and make sure you have plenty of water, and then make sure you have your Paloma cheering rods here, so you can cheer up for her as she's doing the running. So back to that, guys, as we get ready to wrap up today's show. Paloma, we can continue to wish you much success in what you've been doing. Thank you for joining. You are a bright star, and we're going to be excited to see what you do in the future. One last goal that you have for this season, particular before the spring, what's one more thing you want to do?
One more thing I would really like to do before cross country finishes, I would like to get in first place. The last time I got third place. So I would really enjoy to have that first place medal in my hands.
October 2nd might be a really good date to make that happen. I'm just going to point that out.
Great.
Coach, participation, you said, has been very, very well for that. If parents want to get involved, is there ways to tell them to do that to support the kids? Because this is the foundation. Is there a way that they can contact you to help support and build upon what these kids are doing?
Of course. My email address is kdmitchell@okcps.org. We are also we have a middle school open house tomorrow night at Webster. During that open house, we have a doctor who will be there to give physicals for winter sports and also give help with filling out their Rank 1 forms online and sign up for winter sports, which is girls basketball, Paloma. Yes, we do have girls basketball, boys basketball, and wrestling, which is...
She's going to be really good at the fast break. I'm just going to tell you that now. Something tells me she's going to be really talented at the fast break.
So that opportunity is available for them tomorrow night, or they can email me at any time.
All right. Well, thank you so much, both of you, for coming here. Coach, for your heart and your continued support of these programs for girls and boys. And Paloma, we wish you much success. And congratulations on being Player of the Week as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Folks, that's going to wrap up this week's edition of the Oklahoma City Schools Coaches Show, sponsored by Dick's Sporting Goods. I'm going to invite you to please come out and join us here next week. What's the address? It's the Dick's Sporting Good out I-40 westbound, 6601 Southwest 3rd. It's important for you to come out and support the kids. Come out and build and be a part of what they're doing. Be a part and support them. That only causes our children to excel, and it only happens with your support. So I won't be here next week. Your normal host, Michael McDaniel, will return, but I am telling you, this has been a joy and an opportunity to be out here. Okay, I am getting told that I might be back again. So, in that case, I might see you guys again real soon. But I'm inviting you to be a part of this. It's the chance for us to promote, get the behind the scenes, and where you can get involved with the programs. This is CBS Sports Radio 105.3. I'm Maurice Prince. Oklahoma City, good night. We now return you to Oklahoma City's regular scheduled program on the radio. Guys, make sure to tune in tomorrow morning for the Morning Rush, followed by Myron Patton, Jim Rome, then James Hale in the afternoon with Total Sports. We look forward to seeing you in your sports day tomorrow. Good night, Oklahoma.